This essay example, as well as thousands of others, is available in text format on our website for free and without registration. Simply Google Ivy Panda Free Essays.
Concept of posture. Communication is the exchange of information between people, the primary purpose of which is to develop ordinary meaning, a shared point of view, or agreement in different situations. Nonverbal communication plays a crucial part in communication and understanding. It uses paralinguistic methods of information delivery, loudness of speech, tone of voice, gestures, facial expressions, and postures. Kinesics comes from the word kinesis, which means movement and refers to studying the body's physical movements. As part of kinesics, posture is a potent tool that helps people communicate nonverbally. It is used to convey moods or emotions as well as to emphasize verbal communication. Kinesics movements such as posture are very often performed on a subconscious level. The importance of posture. Body language, in comparison with other verbal means of communication, is unique. Assuming that it carries between 60 to 80% of the information transmitted to another person, it is easy to see the importance of interpreting this method of contact. Many people have experienced a feeling of vague anxiety when communicating with another person, subconsciously sensing the insincerity of the words conveyed. Posture is a part of any relationship, regardless of awareness. Posture as nonverbal communication is not free of certain limitations. It is learned in a cultural context, therefore, it may not be universal. Most of the time, people unconsciously and habitually engage in nonverbal communication by moving the various parts of the body. Thus, it lacks formality since there is no particular structure or rules. Postural signals. These two forms of posture can convey the level of confidence, status, or friendliness of one person to another. In an open position, a speaker is usually seated or standing direct facing their partner, with their hands either apart or on the arms of a chair. This stance, as a rule, non-verbally communicates openness, respect, empathy, or sincerity. The very first sign of a closed posture is crossed arms. A person seated in a closed position usually has legs crossed and is positioned at a slight angle from the person they are talking to. This non-verbal communication sends negative signals, implying annoyance, boredom, irritation, or disinterest. Open and closed posture. Using positive body language may add strength to the messages or ideas people are trying to convey. Having an open posture means sitting or standing upright, with legs uncrossed. This is the stance of a person who wants to have a conversation. However, if someone has uncrossed legs but leans forward and puts his elbows on his thighs, it may suggest that the person is worried about something. Open arms usually indicate a frankness of opinion and present an open and honest image. Very often, we politicians apply this method, in addition to using gestures such as waving people and raising their arms with open palms as a sign of trust and faith. By putting arms on your hips, however, a person may subconsciously communicate aggression or a desire to dominate. Mirroring. Mirroring body language is an effective means to build mutual understanding and bond. Copying the person with who you are talking gains a higher level of acceptance and helps build trust. It is worth mentioning that if someone intentionally assumes a particular body posture that is characteristic of a specific emotion, it is likely that the person will start experiencing feelings connected to that emotion. For example, assuming a confident body posture, straight back, shoulders pulled away from the ears, uncrossed arms and legs, makes one start feeling confident and self-assured. Mirroring in the workplace is very positive when trying to establish contact and understanding quickly. However, a person in a subordinate position, mirroring their superior's posture, may be viewed as arrogant and rude. The power of mindful posture. Body posture is a powerful tool for interacting with others, especially in a speech or presentation. It is often used by politicians and public speakers, which means that it is a part of nonverbal communication that can also be trained. The audience can decide about a person based largely on what they see. It is helpful to practice the so-called power poses, arms on hips and legs wide apart, or hands on the table, body leaning forward, before certain social events such as a job interview or business negotiations. Power posing increases the levels of testosterone and lowers cortisol, responsible for stress, thus, giving the speaker a higher sense of self-confidence and power. This essay on posture as a nonverbal communication element was written and submitted by a student just like you. The Ivy Panda Samples database hosts thousands of works similar to this one, on various subjects. Visit ivypanda.com to find what you are looking for.